Welcome to the Cruise Retreat podcast. My name is Rita M. Perez, and I'm a triple certified travel advisor. But more importantly, I coordinate all the logistics to bring your online community offline through world travel. If you've been yearning to put together a group trip, but overwhelmed with all the details that come with planning, I and this podcast are here to help. Ready to transform lives on the open waters of the world? Let's get started. Hello everyone! If you're new around here, my name is Rita M. Perez and I'm a travel advisor that specializes in planning group trips and retreats aboard cruise ships. And I just got off an incredible Zoom session with a brand new cruise line, and I am just so impressed. So I had to obviously come on here, go live to bring you all this knowledge, because I think that this is going to be a huge game changer in the meetings/events industry, but also in the cruise line industry. You know, again, if you're new around here, if you're not too familiar with hosting events or retreats or group trips aboard cruise ships, there are different venues aboard the cruise ships that you can utilize at no extra charge for your groups. But really, unless you are chartering, doing a full ship charter, which can be sometimes thousands or hundreds of people, depending on the vessel that you'll be sailing on, the ship is not exclusive to you or your group. Well, there is a brand new cruise line called Transcend Cruises that is really looking to break the mold on that. And they are creating purpose-built ships for this intention that you can, or that you'll be able to contract out or charter a full ship. Now, these are river ships. So if you know anything about river ships, and kind of like how this specific cruise line works, is that it can have anywhere between 60 to 120 passengers max, which is awesome. So it's a very intimate experience. It's really like a customizable, it is like a Lego of a cruise ship. And that's, I think, what is most exciting to me, is that, you know, when I was looking at their presentation, a lot of what I felt is that this was the Virgin Voyages of river cruise lines, because they are just such forward thinkers. Not only forward thinkers in like their design, but wellness and sustainability is a huge pillar and their big values to them. And I am totally geeking out about this. So some of the things, and I'm just going to go over some of my notes. So what I am geeking out about is how customizable that this is. So a lot of, like, if you're chartering ships and all that, especially like river cruise ships, it's usually for 7 nights. Whereas with this cruise line, it can be minimum of 3 nights, which is really nice. If maybe you want your programming to be on the ship, but you really want to be able to explore the destination that you're around, which can happen on traditional river ships. But it's just like to have a purpose-built venue where one location can be like a theater, and even that, like a theater on a river ship. Never have I seen that before, but that is possible. So yeah, let's dive in a little bit deeper. So what I really liked is that there are 60 cabins, and they're all the same. They're all the same type of cabin. Depending, again, on how many people are sailing and how upscale you want your retreat to be, you can convert some of the 60 cabins into being actually 30 suites. So again, I love the customizability, and I really do love the luxury feel. And that's why I say not all cruise lines and cruise ships are made equally. So if you're thinking like the traditional contemporary stuff, this is not it. Like, this is a really high-end product. There is a 3-deck fitness and wellness program. There's a yoga pad on the top sun deck. You can do group classes. So I think if you are a wellness person, or if you're a wellness leader, this is going to be a really great option. And I feel like this can even be a really great option where you partner with a couple different business owners. If you don't have 60 people that will attend your event or 120 people, maybe there's a couple different either fitness or wellness coaches or instructors, leaders that you partner with to have a really great event on board and can fully encompass the different aspects of wellness. There is a full spa, there is a fitness room, which these are the largest types of spas or fitness rooms that I've seen on any river vessel. There is a full suite digital technology that's available on board that you can really brand your experience. And I love that, because the ship, I mean, this is probably the most forward thinking of a ship in tech terms. So like how I was saying, there's 60 cabins, but they can convert into 30 suites. They don't have like stateroom numbers that are stable stateroom numbers. So their stateroom numbers can convert. So maybe like you had cabin 221 and 222. Well, now that's just cabin 221. So they have to switch to the next cabin to 222. It's just really innovative. Also for the group leader, now some of you that have worked with me before are going to know there's not really any storage space. You kind of like your cabin kind of becomes the storage space. Also like your workspace area. Well, on their ships, no, there is dedicated storage areas for you as the group leader, as well as a location for you to work in the lobby of the cruise ship. As I was mentioning, there is a full theater on these ships. And you can even live feed if you have a speaker that you want to come. This can help save you on some of the costs, like the travel expenses, especially with traveling to Europe, that you can live feed a speaker in. There's also purpose-built, like this theater, you can even do like a vineyard pouring event if you're a wine business. It can even convert into dining space. There are 10 breakout spaces available on their river ships, which again is really unheard of, especially if you're not chartering the ship. You know, my preferred river cruise partner right now, it's like one area that you can utilize. There's of course more spaces that you can utilize, but one like really good private area. So it's nice to know that there will be 10 different spaces on here, and you can do small group dining. So maybe you're a corporate trip and you're bringing your team on. Maybe you just want to have a small intimate experience like with some top earners or your executive team. There are also places like when we're talking about that tech branding, where you can have like some corporate sponsorship opportunities, which makes me think of a lot of opportunities for a special dietary needs cruise that I have been wanting to put together. I really love that, again, like everything, this is why I say it's like a Lego ship of a cruise ship, because you can, they will convert some of the furniture depending on the number of passengers. So maybe there's not the full 120 passengers. They can take away some of the furniture just to make it feel more roomy and spacious. And they have all the meeting tech that you'll need. So if you need like podiums, microphones, that is also included. Digital easel. This was another, I'm like, why haven't people thought of this? On the typical bottom deck of the river cruise ships, there's a couple of cabins that are on board. They have removed those cabins. Actually, the only cabins that are available really are if you want to bring team members with you to help support your event. There's also an office area for printing, storage, like I was mentioning. This cruise line does offer a full load and package if you need to bring things on board with you. But instead of having these multiple cabins on that like ground level or river level, they have actually just created a big space that can be used for whatever you need. So if you're a golf group and you need a place to store all of the golf clubs, that can be that. If you want to have a little trade show with different entrepreneurs on board, it can be that. If you want to have like most of your things focused on the adult entrepreneurs, but they're bringing their kids, that can be like a little kids activity area. There is full gym technology. There is a full gym, and they have different partnerships. So like there's a library on board and the coffee partner is Illy. So the gym partner is Techno Gym. There's a spa that has 2 full treatment rooms. Not only that, there's a wet area with a hammam. I've never heard of that on a river cruise ship. There is also a river-facing sauna. There is a spa lounge that can also be converted to a restaurant, and it can, there's just so many ideas that abound. You can do like tapas or sushi. You can do a pop-up dinner. So maybe like every little restaurant avenue on board the ship has like a different theme, and you can just do that pop-up dinner around the ship one night. The room numbers are dynamic, which I did mention. So they're very similar in sizing. So it's 210 square feet is what a river ship cabin on their ships will be. And if you again wanted to convert, so there's 2 rooms next to each other, if you wanted to have those to be all suites, there would be like the bedroom, bathroom area, and then the next one can serve like as a living room, which is just flippin' fantastic. There will be full walk-in closets on board and bar setup and in-room dining for these suites if you wanted to upgrade everything to a suite, or maybe just even have a couple of cabins be suites and a couple of cabins be the regular cabins. Everything, I am just loving the customizability. Where most river cruise lines will include shore excursions will be an add-on, because really this is more of an event venue than like a whole river cruise experience, which means that you can customize things throughout the day. So maybe you can have full programming, which is incredible, because on a river cruise, a typical river cruise, it really is go, 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 where you are having tour here, lunch, tour here, then dinner, where you don't necessarily have to have the day packed with tours. You can do like a full program in the morning, break for lunch, and then do an afternoon tour, and then just rest and relaxation for the rest of the day. I just really, really love the customizability. And they can create custom menus. They are an a la carte restaurant meal type thing. And I had asked exactly what that was, because I'm like, it isn't just standard menu a la carte. But most cruise lines operate like they are prepping for a banquet, like what happens when you go to a typical hotel, where they're cooking everything ahead of time so that when it's mealtime, they just crank everything out. So a lot of things have been on hold for a little bit. So like the mac and cheese that maybe you had been wanting to eat was actually cooked 2 hours early, and it's just been hot held until it's time to eat. Whereas everything, when they say a la carte, everything, like you order mac and cheese, it gets made right then and there. One of the other like really great customizability features that I loved is that, again, the ship really is an extension of wherever you're at in the world. And they do operate on 70% of the European rivers. So, I've talked a lot about the Rhine River, the Danube River, the Holland and Belgium waterways are things that they will definitely be operating on. And so a fun little fact, or a fun little partnership that they have, is that they have actual books on the ships, which is not anything new for river ships, but they have a library partner which is connected to many authors. So if you are like a writing coach or just a book enthusiast, or have a book enthusiast type of group, you can like get book signings done with authors that are there, or you can have the author on board to host a dinner, or just an author Q&A, or maybe like an author and winery/vineyard hosted dinner. There are so many different possibilities that can happen aboard. And that's what really, really gets me excited, is that it doesn't fit the cookie cutter, which is why I relate it a lot to Virgin Voyages, is because it's so different and it's so forward thinking and innovative, and their spaces are nice and clean. They feel modern. They don't feel like old world. And I'm not saying like old world is on the way out or whatever, but it is just so nice to have just a fresh perspective in the cruise industry. And I say all this because there's not a lot of things that get me excited, but this got me super, super excited, if you couldn't tell. So let me know what questions you may have on this new cruise line, and also on kind of like planning a group on this ship. I just have so many ideas, like bringing some of you fellow business owners with me on board to like see how this can work for your businesses. Also having many of you I know would love to partner with other business owners to bring a custom type event on board. And I just feel like this is not only a really great product if you have the large following and can do the full ship charter, but I think this is going to be a really great partnership with multiple business owners that everybody might be able to come together for one event, but then do lots of different breakouts. And I'm just thinking, you know, like copywriters, web designers, book authors, graphic designers, even like winery, like wine influencers or wine shop owners. Like I'm looking at you, Oregon, because I know that there's a big, especially Latin Wine Alliance that's up there. Just so many things that I feel like can happen. And I don't know, the possibilities are endless. So if you are very intrigued at this opportunity, make sure that you reach out to me via email, rita@ritaventures.net, or comment on this video, of course. But I will jump off of here. I'm super intrigued to know what you think, but everything's like marinating for me right now. I can't even speak. It's kind of like the fire hydrant went whoosh. And I'm like, I gotta collect all the water from the fire hydrant. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thanks for joining me on the Cruise Retreat podcast. Please subscribe and leave the show a rating so more team and community leaders like yourself can get access to these episodes. See you next week.